Welcome to Romance Rex, where book besties explore the world of romance novels and encourage you to expand your TBR. Join us as we dive into the hottest releases and hidden gems of the genre. You can find us on IG and TikTok at Romance Rex Pod. Hi guys, I'm Dev, and I just finished reading Fall With Me, or listening to Fall With Me by Becca Mack. 5 stars. Kiss, chef's kiss. Loved it. Amazing. Beautiful. Wonderful. But my next read, I really do need to finish Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. So that's what's coming up for me.
I'm Jordan, and I'm reading The Clan of Mist by Jonah D. and Fleur de Villani. And I'm listening to Queen of Anarchy, Book 2 in the Dirty Broken Savages series by Eva Ashwood. So buckle up for some bookish banter because today is exciting. While Christina's still not with us because she's in the middle of a big move, we do have a guest here today. Will you just introduce yourself and tell us what you're reading?
Hi, I am Staci with Romance-Landia bookstore, and I am currently reading Kissing Bandit by Margaret Rose.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I know I'll have to look that up. Well, hi Staci. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you here. I mean, you're just an expert in indie romance authors, so I'm going to consider you our expert. Tell us about your store, about yourself.
Hi, my name is Staci, and I am with Romance-Landia bookstore. I just recently opened my bookstore in May of this year. I am solely a pop-up bookstore, and I focus on indie romance. We are working towards a brick and mortar or a bookmobile, but for right now, we're just doing online orders and pop-up shops. So we are excited and thrilled to see where this takes us, and just excited to see, what's down the road from here.
That's exciting.
Oh,
I love that.
Exciting.
I love the idea of like a pop-up.
I feel like,
yeah.
What's the stress to fun ratio? Because that's always like a pipe dream, I feel like, is opening a bookstore, and I'll take the stress. But you know what I mean?
I would say I think it's more fun than stressful. There are definitely times where it is extremely stressful, but like, I really have a good time doing it. And I enjoy meeting new people and talking to them about books and trying to figure out what they would be interested in, because most people don't even know what indie romance is. So trying to explain that to them, and then they give you they give you a book that they really like, and you're like, okay, let me see if I can come up with something that's, if you like this, read this.
Right.
Yeah, trying to get them hooked. So you've probably read a lot of good books. We usually, the start of our episode, we share quotes from books either we've recently read or we have a favorite one.
Do you have a quote?
Oh yeah.
We have quotes. If you want us to get started, you can start us off if you're ready. Perfect. Okay. All right, Deb, you go.
So this is from Fall With Me by Becca Mack. Is anybody surprised? Absolutely not. We all knew I was going to go for a quote from this book. When I tell you this book has become my entire personality within the last 24 hours, it is just the way it is. So this is like 88% into the book. We are declaring our love and all that jazz. But this is the male main character. And this is, his little love declaration. He says something else, but I didn't highlight that part. And then he goes, hold on. I had to get to the good stuff. So I highlighted where he starts. It's going to start in the middle of the sentence. That I want to be the one who drives you out to the middle of nowhere at midnight just to fucking stare at you while you stare at the stars. Because somehow in this whole huge world, I got lucky enough to find you not once, but twice.
That's amazing.
Oh,
very cute.
We went, okay. Our vibes are very similar today, which they're not usually.
Are we on the same page with the quotes today?
We are. Okay, mine is from False Start by Candy Steiner. And this is the male main character to the female main character. They actually found each other again after years. She is now a single mom. And so this is him talking to her. Every inch of you, every scar, every mark of motherhood. I've never been more turned on in my fucking life, Madeline. You're the only one who undoes me like this.
Oh,
I know. And then they throw in the marks of motherhood. And you're like, oh,
he had me at that. When the marks of motherhood, babe, you have me. Like, there is nothing else to discuss at that point.
Candy is so good. Her writing is
I know. I love it.
Okay,
Right,
so
Staci, what do you have for us?
I'm like teetering on two different ones. So they're both from the book that I'm reading right now, which is Kissing Bandit by Margaret Rose. And here's the one I'm going to go with. You can't throw something away if you don't know what you've got. His Lost Baby. You hear me? And I was like,
Oh,
okay.
yes. So we love that. Stand up, girl.
And I'm
know
not
your
a
worth.
huge person on nicknames, but like the nicknames in this book are so good. And I'm like, oh, you've got me.
Wait, what are they? I have to know now. I have to know what
So
the nicknames are.
I can't even remember his name. I think it's like Jonathan or something, but she calls him JB. And I'm just like, okay,
I love that.
get
I
down
love a
with
cute.
that.
Yeah.
And he calls her Sunshine or like Sweetheart or Baby. And I'm just like, okay, they're not like cheesy or, cliche or whatever. I love it.
Yeah. In Fall with Me, my male character calls her Honey. And I hate Honey. Like, that's one of the things I hate. One of the nicknames I hate. But I ate it up in this book. I just, I was obsessed with it.
For me, it totally depends on the delivery a lot of the time. And I love original nicknames that you don't hear in other ones. Like recently in Honey and Spice, he called her Scotch. But there was like a whole background and he described it the first time. He's like, you're not sweet like honey. You're more like Scotch. And he goes into it. And it's just.
I think that's the first time I've heard Scotch.
Yeah.
I love that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it fit. It was so cute.
All right, now that we got our quotes out, I know,
feels.
like we're on a very positive track. I love the quotes that we did. Normally, we're not aligned at all with the quotes that we choose, so this is nice. But yeah, more about you, Staci. So, like, just quick rundown of like how you got started. How did you get into having a little pop-up bookshop and also getting your books online?
Yeah, so I actually started on Bookstagram probably close to 5 years ago. I started when my son was younger and I was looking for an outlet, some place to meet some people that had the same interest. And it kind of became my whole life. And I was obsessed with it. And I became really connected with some indie authors and started to see that there was kind of a disconnect in their marketing and getting the name out there. Like there was really nowhere that you could get their books unless you wanted to go to like Amazon. So I wanted to kind of bridge that gap and create a place where you can get the signed copies, you can get, the indie author merch and the swag and the stuff that, that you kind of see all over the place. You're like, oh, I wish I would have gotten that PR box or, whatever. So I just decided one day that I was going to do this, and it was literally on a whim, and I was like, okay, I'm going for it. And it's been a whirlwind, but I love it. And I'm so excited, like I said earlier, to just see, how far I've come and then to see what we have in the future.
That's awesome. I love how you took what you're passionate about and you did it. You jumped in.
Right. And also, when you start a business, it's about supply and demand. You saw the demand in the market for this specifically, and you're right. There is a demand for indie authors and getting their books in your hands and not having to go through Amazon because you're not getting the signed copy and the stickers and like the merch and all that stuff when you get it through Amazon. So
and it's Amazon. There's this like little seed of like guilt every time. I'm like, I know it's probably in an indie bookstore somewhere in the back of a shelf that I would rather be buying there, but it's hard to find. So that was so smart.
For sure. Definitely. I love that.
I love how you're talking to the authors too and directly connected, because that's what I love about indie authors and social media when it comes to the book world is they're so much more connected to who is reading their product, and it's
easy to talk to them because their DMs usually are open and they're willing to sit and chat with you. And I don't know if that's just the difference between traditional and indie. If, traditional, there's certain things they are and aren't allowed to do. I'm not 100% positive, but I do know that indie seems to be more willing and able to chat with you and, hype up the book. And they're just really awesome.
Not that people that are doing trad publishing aren't doing a lot of work and hard work. It's just everything rests on indie authors' shoulders.
Editing,
like
marketing,
and all the pressure, everything.
The cover design, everything.
Everything, As many people that they can have in their corner, that's going to be the best. So, love that.
Do you have, so you mentioned like possibly like a brick and mortar or book bus. Is that your ultimate goal for your business, or what are your major goals with
I mean,
Romance-Landia?
my goal would be to make it more accessible. So if that would be, a brick and mortar, then that's what I want to do. If a bookmobile, seems like the better option, then I'll do that. I'm not limiting myself. And then I noticed that there's not very many options for events in our area. I do live in the Northeast, and so there's not very many events in our area where you get to meet and chat with authors. There's a lot of stuff, out west. And so I just, that's one of the things that I'm, trying to do is to get more authors, indie authors accessible. And so people can get to know them and chat with them, and you can get their book. And yeah.
Yeah, of course. I love that.
Love
We
that.
love indie. I'm like indie author bay. I love me my indie authors. I just love supporting them. I
Yeah.
also just like reading indie books. I feel like I read more indie books than traditionally published books. Or like
You do.
they'll eventually go on to be traditionally published, and we love that. I'm like, yes, queen, go
Yeah.
do your thing. But like, yeah, I love supporting when they're in that like grind hustle stage for sure.
Yeah.
And being very vocal with my support as well. But I do want to know how you acquire your indie books. Like how do you get these people to be like, yeah, we're going to get you the books? Like how do you actually physically get the books that you're going to sell to people?
So there's two ways I go about it. One of them is to just go to the author directly and just say, hey, I own an indie bookstore. I would love to stock your books. Are you interested? Do you do wholesale? Because some of them don't have the ability to have the inventory. And then, they can either direct you to the website that they order from, or they can order directly for you and then just ship them right to you. Every author kind of does things a little differently. And then there's also a website called Ingram, and it's kind of like the Amazon for bookstores. So if an author doesn't have copies or they don't go through Amazon, then that's where I'll go and I'll get them from Ingram.
Perfect.
Okay, that's so interesting, because I was wondering that, because with indie authors, that's kind of the name of the game, is it's whatever they're deciding to do. So
when you're indie published, there's usually two major places that they publish, and that's on Amazon and on Ingram.
Ingram, yeah.
Is there a specific author that got you hooked on indie authors? We need more of this. Like, I want to be a champion for indie authors. Because you said you were talking to some of them, but is there one or two specifically, either when you started reading them or wanted that kind of ignited this fire to do this?
There were two or three that I talked to kind of consistently. Honestly, I don't even know if they realized that they impacted me so much, but that would be Heather Garvin, and I would also say Willa Lane and Kay Cinco. So those three, I just really connected with their books, and they're just really, really nice people. So they kind of sucked me in. Because I didn't even know what indie publish was, and I had been on Bookstagram for so long. And then I kind of came across their stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are so good. Like, why aren't you guys traditionally published? Like, what the heck?
Right. Don't you read a good indie book?
Why isn't this everywhere?
Like, why more people need to know about this book? I fully understand.
Yeah. Yes, and some of them do choose not to go traditional. Some of them choose to stay indie, and that's totally fine. I mean, good, good for them.
Right, exactly. I think you have more of a connection with your fan base and your supporters when you stay indie, because like you said, there's more control. There's some things that when you're traditionally published, you can't have that same connection, or maybe there are things you can't do, or you're just too busy now, right? Now you're running all over the country for signings and doing all these things. So yeah, I do love the indie. I feel like the community surrounding some of these authors is just really beautiful to see, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Was it a hard?
How do you?
Go ahead. No,
sorry,
go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay,
No, you go. No.
No, so I just what I was gonna ask is, why did you choose indie authors? Is it because of these authors who had an impact on you, or like why is it only indie? Because there's no one that's traditionally published in your catalog, right? Every single person is.
I think Hannah Bonham Young as probably the only one.
Oh, Hannah, yes.
Hannah,
yes,
and then there might be. I'm trying to think, but Hannah is just recent, hers is recent. So hers I had before, and then I'm trying to think. There might be one or two others. I'm
Or
not
maybe Kat
opposed.
Singleton.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to having traditionally published, but starting out, I wanted it to be just indie because that
Right.
is where my heart is right now. But yeah, I'm not opposed to putting traditionally published in the shop, and that is something that I'm thinking about. But yeah, so just based off of relationships that I've had, that's what I decided to go with. So
Honestly, yeah, that makes or breaks it.
I love it. And you're passionate about it. That's always where you're going to
Yeah.
thrive better, is when you feel a better connection towards your stuff. Like, how do you decide which authors to reach out to or find? Is it just you searching and finding on socials, or is it demand you see? Like, how do you choose what books by genre, author? I'm just like, this whole thing fascinates me.
It's daunting, and that probably is the most stressful part of this, is trying to figure out, okay, well, I choose things that I would want to read because it's going to be easier for me to show you my excitement, right? Because I can say, hey, I've read this book. It's fantastic. You should read it. Here's why X, Y, and Z. But I also will see stuff on Instagram. I'll see it on Book Talk, and I'm like, okay, let me check it out. And I'll, kind of feel it out and see what's the interest level. And there are some that I'm like, I really like this person, and nobody's seeing their stuff. And I'm like, I got to get it out there. And some of that is, I'm kind of all over the place.
No, I love that. Yeah. No, that's perfect. And that's also good.
That was one of the first things I thought of when I looked at your catalog, and I looked online at your website, and I was just, how did she decide which ones? Like, how do we?
Who makes the decision, right? You just ask everybody.
It's like a rabbit trail. It's a rabbit trail because honestly, and it's terrible. My TBR is terrible, but I'll find one author that I really, really, really like, and then I'll look at their friends, and then they'll start sharing stuff. Like Heather Garvin is constantly sharing new books, and I'm like, stop, Heather. Like, I cannot handle another new book. But she does, and that's the difference. I mean, an indie author is doing that. That's incredible. She's not just like, hey, look at my stuff, but she's like, hey, here's some other really cool people. So.
Yeah, no, I love that. The support in the community between indie authors too, like that's also something I noticed. Like, the fan base, the readers, great, but also the support between authors is sometimes I'm like, wow, look at you go. Look at you supporting each other.
I love to see when they go on little writing retreats, and I'm like, yes, give me more content.
Write a series.
H.D. Carlton and Penn.
Yes.
Yeah, and Penn and Emily Douglas are together. They're like,
they write a series together. That's cool too, because you're like, oh my gosh, because they're all
like
so
the best
different.
Of both worlds. Right.
Yeah, they all write very different things, and then you're like, oh my gosh, y'all came together for this. It's really awesome.
Yes. No, I agree for sure. And we were browsing through the catalog, looking at the store, looking what you had available. But do you have any like special editions that you love right now for sale?
I don't have any in my shop right now. I am in the process of trying to figure that out and which ones I would want. Obviously, I want them all, but
right, yeah.
You have a lot. You have some signed. Yeah, I saw. At least when we looked, you did. You had some signed copies and things.
Probably like 70 to 80 signed authors. So
that's a lot.
Really cool. It's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, but that's a testament to you too, building these relationships, reaching out to them, like making sure that they know that you're interested and that there is an interest with other readers that want to, get their hands on their books as well. So that's a lot. That's a high number. Look at you go.
I'm excited. I'm like,
yeah, right?
I mean, that's something that I strive for because it makes it different. Like, that's something you can't get on Amazon. I hate to say it, but if that's what you're looking for, you're gonna have to go to an indie bookstore because they just don't have that.
And most people can't make it to signings. Most people aren't going to be able to do that.
That's where I think that's my biggest love of, you having such a large library of signed authors is, I don't go to a lot of book conventions. I'm going to my first one really in October, and that's it. I can't get out to all of them. So being able to get signed books from authors that I love, that's chef's kiss. That's just perfect. That is perfection. I love it.
Your customers, are you finding that they're mostly right now, are they local to where you are? Have you found that your reach has expanded already? I know you just got started, and that's so excited. But like from what traction you've had so far, is it?
I would say a
Like, where is
lot
that?
of it is on the East Coast. There's a little bit like in the Midwest, down south. But yeah, most of it is more on the East Coast. We'll see. I don't know.
You're still going. You're
It's in the Pacific
right. Yeah.
Northwest.
Don't
Even
try to
if
get.
you're everywhere.
I
Don't
have
worry.
a goal to have,
Yeah.
I have like a map that I'm trying to fill out each of the states.
People
So
order
I
from?
am trying,
Oh.
I'm trying to keep track of it so that I can see like where books are actually making it and how far different books are going. It's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
I
so
love that you're
fun.
tracking it that way. That's really cool, actually.
thanks.
Even as an author, I think I would love to track that. Like,
there
to
are
see
some that
where
are doing it. Yeah,
that are
it's
doing
really
it.
cool.
Yeah. And then
Fun to watch it,
right,
bro.
just watch. Soon you'll have this map filled, and you're like, I have touched every single state. That's mind-boggling. Like, this entire country is mine. I would love that.
So you're playing Risk.
Right.
You're playing Risk with all your sales.
I
Oh
would
my
love that. It's
God.
like bragging rights. Can customers request books? Like,
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
so we can. If I see that you don't
Yeah.
have something, but I'm like, I want to buy this from you, I can reach
Yeah,
out to you and like request a
absolutely.
book.
Sure.
Okay. I love that. You were like, no brainer, babe. Next
Yeah,
question,
no.
yes.
Yeah,
Immediate
why
yes.
would I say
Yeah.
no? No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. Like,
Yeah. I love that. Okay, good.
Well, in that case, I have some. No,
come on, lay it on me.
we'll talk later.
Right.
We'll talk later.
Like a long list of books that she wants to see. That's so funny.
I don't have enough room on my shelves. Let me buy another
Yeah.
shelf first.
Yeah, I mean, if there's
And then we'll
something
get
that
there.
you've had your eye on, let me know. I'll see if I can get it.
Because let me tell you, actually, now that we talk about it,
All right, best friend.
I
All right, you're gonna ask about Pen Cole, aren't you? You're gonna ask
I'm
about
not
Pen Cole.
actually.
You're gonna ask about these.
Maybe, but not. I'm not, because there is actually Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. So I have an arc of that, and I need to finish the arc. The book is already out in the world, but in the UK, specifically this store, I think This Works or something like that, they got a special edition of her book, and I am pissed. Also, Collide by Bob Cabra. I was punching air when I saw those books. I was like, what do you mean? Why do they only get stuff like that? So
The UK does have
That's my
some
thing.
really cool editions of books, and I
Like,
don't know why.
I was just gonna
I
say
don't know.
that.
and how?
Just gonna say that the UK gets the best
I don't
best
know
copies.
why.
They get the best illustrated
Yes.
maps and beautiful.
Baffling. Like, it's I don't understand it. And sometimes, like, I've been crossing my fingers that those two specific books will eventually make it over here. But I'm like, okay, the books are out in the world. When am I going to get a special edition of them? Hello? Do I have to email somebody? But yeah, I love the work you're doing. So, if you happen to get those,
Yeah,
It's a
I'll let you
report.
know.
yeah, I'll slide on it there.
I mean,
Yes,
I
please.
can ask, and I don't know. I don't know how do they decide
will
who gets
ru-
what? I don't know.
Right. I will run to the website and purchase immediately.
So now we have Stacy for stateside.
Yes.
and
We're
then
just adding to our collection. We're collecting book besties at this point. I love that.
That's the best. Those are the best kind
no,
of
this
besties.
Yes.
community is incredible. It truly is.
I know book
It
readers are very
is.
special. And especially this whole, I know there's a lot of controversy and things that happen with book talk and whatever, but at the core of
Yeah.
it, we all just really like to read books, and we love sharing the books that we like to read. And we love talking about tropes and characters, and there's artwork. And it's like this entire community, first of all, from a financial perspective, this is $1 billion trillion, like, what were
Romance
yes, like,
alone.
people who are not donating, but investing money in things, invest in romance readers. The whole bookstagram, book talk scene, put your money there, because I promise you will make that money back tenfold. We are reading, baby. We want the art. We want the sweatshirts. I want little bookstagram panties. I love it all. I want the phone case. Like,
Dev will give you her
Yes.
PayPal so it can just go straight into her bank account. Is what she's
yeah,
saying.
like, I want all these things, So I just love the community, and I love the love for the books. Because, yeah. Anyway, before I get on my soapbox here, let's play for the first time ever. We're going to play This or That, okay? Stacey,
Okay.
here are the rules. It's rapid fire. Okay? You can't think about it. You hear it, you hear the things, and you have to just say your answer.
Gut.
Gut reaction.
Go with your gut.
You will not be graded, but you might be slightly judged depending on your answer. So
Oh, man.
make it good, my love.
But to be fair, all of these, any option is like
To be fair,
acceptable
yeah,
by
like
someone. So there's nothing.
you're not really gonna be judged too much because like I'll take them either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Jordan, do you want to do the rapid fires?
Yeah. All right. So they're all romance or reading
Yes.
related. Okay. Your romance, closed door
Open.
or open.
Oof.
Contemporary or
Contemporary.
fantasy. One bed or who did this
Who
to
did
you?
this to you?
Yeah. Audio or physical
Physical.
books. Small town or sports
town.
romance. Standalone.
So far,
She's cheering.
I will, listeners, I'll let you know, Stacy's passing with flying colors. She's classic.
Yeah, standalone or
Oh,
series.
standalone.
Paperback or hardcover.
Paperback.
Second chance or friends to lovers. Hot or iced beverages
Ooh,
while you
iced.
read. And quick, name your top 3 book boyfriends.
don't know.
Yeah, this is where it all falls apart.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
The first 3 that come to mind. Just the first 3
Yeah.
that come to mind.
We don't
I can't even think that. You put me on the spot. I have no idea.
all of them. The
All
answer
of the
is all
above?
of them. Yeah, all of them.
It's the SATs, all the above. I don't know what's always right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I remember he
Can
had
I
dark
get
hair,
back to you
dark
on
eyes.
that?
He was over 6
Yeah,
feet.
right. I love
He's
that.
in
That was
finance.
good.
I don't know.
Yeah, 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5",
Yeah,
blue
trust
eyes.
fund.
Finance.
Please.
Wings. Yeah. I love that. No, that was good. That was really good. You passed everything except for when you said standalone or series.
I know.
But okay, but come on, that's a little
Yeah.
deal.
I think
That's
it
a little
depends
deal.
on the author.
She likes to
You're
wrap
right.
it up.
Yeah. It does depend on the author. Because there's some series I'll read the
Yeah.
first book and never visit it again. Like never visit the
Yeah.
series. So
Yeah.
you're right.
Like Becca Mack, I'm hearing that
Or it
that's
goes
like
on
you
too
gotta
long.
read all of them.
Yeah, I will say the 4th book is the only book of that series that I would have been like, a little bit, but I don't think I needed to have read 1 through 3 to understand the love in
Yeah.
4. Yes, but yes. And I sped through all of them just to get to the 4th book. So
That's the one you were
yes,
just reading?
that I just finished. Yeah,
I've been hearing
I
about
have not been
this.
playing. Like I'm talking about these books,
Mm-mm.
and it's crazy because when I started off this series, Jordan can tell we were talking about this. I DNF'd the first book about 1.5 years ago because I couldn't get through it. I was just like, I cannot do this, and I knew,
The characters were
yeah,
there
there
for
were the guys. Just the way they spoke was a little like. It was annoying. It was grating. And then when I realized the 4th book was coming out, something about the book, I was like, this is the book. I need to read this book. Especially it featured like a Black female main character. I was like, yep, I want to read this. I need to know her story. How does she get loved? I want to see it. I want to read it. And so I had to read the others. And then each book got better. I will say, like, each book got better for me. And then after I cried at the 3rd book, I was like, baby, you love the series. Relax.
Did you go back to the first book? Did you try rereading
Yes, I
it?
did. So I didn't reread it, but I picked up where I left off because truthfully, I didn't miss much from where I like stopped. So I picked up where I left off, and that was still the hardest book for me to get through. It took the longest because the other 2 I read like within 24 hours pretty much, or I listened to them. So it was like within 24 hours. But yeah, the first one is the hardest, I think.
Also, I feel like I like seeing when you can tell that authors are refining their
Yes.
writing, and you get that a lot more with indie authors. I feel like any
Yeah.
authors really, but that's the thing about indie. They're usually, some of them are newer, and so you kind of see them grow through their
Mhm.
writing.
And sticking with them is like the best because you get to see that journey. Like
Yeah.
even though I may not have loved the first book, I absolutely love the rest of the series. Will I read another Becca Mack book? Absolutely. Sign me up. I'm here for it because I love seeing that growth. I love seeing, you know, how her writing changes, how her characters advance. So, yeah, for sure a fan.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite read, Staci, from this year so far, or what are some of your standout books?
I absolutely loved
That's what I'm
If You
curious
Hate
about.
Me by Helena Hunting. If you
I
have
feel like
not
I've heard
read
of
that
one.
and you
Let me
like
just-
spice,
If you
Ooh.
you need to read it. I'm telling you. But don't come at me when you get to the part about the cucumber. I'm sorry.
yes, give me things. Give me extra things. Yes,
Let me
yes,
just
yes.
Let
say.
me rush.
Oh, I'll come for you, but
If
like
you
if it's
hate
yes.
me.
If you hate me, okay, adding
Uh-huh.
right now.
If you hate
And do
Not
not let
Jordan's
that
keyboard.
do not let that cover fool you. Okay?
Oh my gosh, this is on my. I wanted to read this.
Next, please. Like, that's the next book. You need to read that.
Okay, I will. No, I literally just passed it.
Group read.
It was
I would
suggested to
reread
me
that.
on Audible. Okay, cool. I did judge the cover a little bit. Not gonna lie, when I saw that, I was like, not
Don't.
for me. Next,
No. Rip
read
the
it.
cover off.
Okay.
Whatever. Like,
Perfect. Ooh, yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, another one I would say, The Trouble with Love and Ink by Harriet Ashford. It's a debut novel, but let me tell you, you would not even know that it is a debut novel.
A debut. That's like the highest
It
praise.
was
I
so
love
good.
that. Yeah.
If you liked The Hating Game, then I would for sure read it. If you were, I don't know about The Hating Game, still read it because it's so
Just
good.
read
Anyway,
it. Just read it. Cool. And it's highly rated on Goodreads. I mean, you got to take Goodreads ratings with a grain of salt, but it is pretty like highly rated.
Yeah.
Did it?
Really, really good.
It did.
Yeah. No, she's a sweetheart.
Added that.
Okay. Let's think. One more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just released yesterday. Firecracker by Claire Foster. Again, if you like
brand new release,
spice, I'm telling you, why
and you know
choose?
We do.
That's all I'm gonna say. Why choose?
Why choose? Wait, there's a lot of Firecracker. Who did you say?
Hi.
Claire Foster.
I live for Why Choose.
Claire Foster. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, go put it on your KU. Get yourself that book. I have signed copies if you then choose to have one.
We love that. Firecracker, Claire Foster. Got it.
And the cover is like...
No, the cover is so cute. This cover is cute. I love when covers look like this.
And the nicknames in that one, too, are really good.
Yeah. Ooh, the praise so far rolling in for this book, having it since it just came out, looking good. And this one is even higher than the last one as far as rating. So, ooh.
Well, our next episode is Reverse Harem, Why Choose. So perfect. We'll read that real fast.
Add it to the collection. That'll be our group read for sure.
So good.
Love it. I'm so excited.
Don't you just hate when your TBR gets expanded? Oh no. So sad. And then so of any of the authors that you stock right now, have you actually met any of them? Or even if you don't stock them, have there been any indie authors or traditionally published any authors in general that you've met and like
any?
I have
or
gone
who you want to meet?
to 2 book signings. I met Lucy Score. She was awesome. I would love to chat with her again. And then I'm actually hosting an event in October, a book signing event, and I have 22 authors now coming, and they're romance authors, and most of them I think I stock. So, yeah. And Harriet Ashford.
That is amazing.
Okay. Let's talk some more about that.
Can you talk about this event? You have this big event coming. That's only a few short months away, Staci. Tell us more.
Okay, so on October 5th in Chestertown, Maryland, on the East Coast. You guys should still come. I'm just saying. Girls weekend.
I know. I'm like,
can we swing it?
I know. Can we swing
Yeah. I am doing an event. It's a book signing event. It's low key, and there's 22 romance authors. They will have booths with all of their books, swag, merch, you name it, they'll have it, and you can sit chat with them. And I have authors like B.K. Borison, Chelsea Curto, Hannah Bowman Young.
Oh, those are both Dev's favorites.
Are you gonna come see me now?
She might.
Not my girl.
Yeah, she might.
Yeah, I'm still on cloud 9, and my husband's excited too.
Oh,
He's like, I'm fangirling, and I'm like, yeah, you are.
yeah, we love a supportive kid. Oh my god. No, I'm Chelsea. Hannah, love them bad. I love them. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. No, so that's October 5th in Chestertown, Maryland.
That is impressive,
That's a
Staci.
huge number.
I'm a little nervous.
Is this your first
I'm
event?
a little nervous.
Oh man, I just want to come help. Honestly, this is my feeling. Like I want to come help.
Right, like set things up.
I want to come.
Project manager,
I want to help
stage manager.
Take it
Come
down.
as
I want
an
to.
influencer.
Right, not us, influencer.
Oh my! Excuse me. Yeah, let's actually we'll talk after the show.
That would be too good, actually.
Let me look at my miles real quick. I know I have a couple.
Oh man,
Yeah.
no, that would actually be so fun. 22 authors is a lot. That's a huge accomplishment. And I know the event hasn't happened yet, but like truly just getting 22 authors to say, yep, we're down. That is amazing.
On
you
me,
are
who like is new. Like I don't know. I could cry some days.
I know that has like gotta be so
Yeah.
overwhelming, but you are doing it. Like people see you, they hear you, so we're rooting for you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's super inspiring for sure.
All right, okay. So that's coming up. I'm blown away that this is your first event right out the gate, first year that you've started this, first months. You're going for it. You're going to do great things.
Right.
Dreams.
Right. Exactly.
I get it. So that's coming up. But are there any book releases that you're looking forward to that are coming?
Honestly, I mean, there's so many good books coming out, and I like feature them every month. I'm like, oh my gosh, my TBR cannot handle another one. I'm currently reading an arc of Golden Secrets by Willa Lane, which is the second one in her series. And I am so excited for that to release. The first book kind of left you on a cliffhanger, and I'm not a huge fantasy fan. Like, I will read some fantasy, but her series is like dystopian fantasy-ish, and I'm here for it. It's so good.
Adding to the list. You said Willa Lane?
Willa Lane.
Cool. Gonna add that. I have no business expanding this TBR, but I'm gonna do it.
I could give you a list.
Yeah,
yes,
give us a
please.
List.
And also, if that's something if you have like a few books that you absolutely want people to know about, send them over. We'll post it on our Instagram to just so people can know that these are things that if you have them in stock or just recs that you have, because we are in the business of recommending books. I don't know if you could tell, but so yeah, if you shoot that over to us, and we'll get that posted for sure.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course,
I will recommend books like it's my job.
Absolutely. For sure.
I want that to be my full-time job. Yes.
Let's make it happen.
Well, you're definitely showing us that it's possible. So yeah, like super inspiring. Like Staci, this is everything you're doing is just so amazing. And I feel like I can see you growing and just being in this space and just blowing up and people supporting you. And it's just really inspiring to know or to see the beginnings of it and to know that you are going to reach these goals that you have. I'm not even worried, babe. You got it. You're going to do it. You're going to accomplish all of these things. No, because this is what the people want. The people are me. We are the people. And this is what you're selling. We're buying.
We are.
Okay? We're buying what you're selling. Okay. So yeah. No, anything we can do to help support and just push the message and just what you're doing out here, things you're doing in the community. And we're not on the same coast. We're not in the same states, but we love sharing and just putting the focus and the lens in places they need to be. So thank you. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Is there anything else that you want to say about your company or about the event that's happening or anything else you want listeners or romance readers to know maybe there's just a book you want to make sure they go read?
All of them.
Is there anything other?
Right.
Yeah. Everything on your website.
Right.
No, just give indie a chance. And if you've never heard of indie, go check it out. And if you need recommendations, let me know.
Right. And start with Staci's page. And actually, yeah, why don't you go ahead and drop your socials, say your socials, and then say the website just for people who are listening.
My website is www.romance-landia.com. And then my Instagram handle is romance-landia_bookstore. And that's where you can find everything that you need.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Staci.
much. And thanks everyone for listening to us ramble with Staci about her story, Romance-Landia. If you're looking for more Romance Rex, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Rex Pod. You can find our favorite book Rex from our favorite episodes, as well as behind the scenes content. Again, that's Romance Rex Pod. So make sure to give us a follow and follow Staci. And we'll be back next week with another episode.
Yeah, thanks, Staci.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for listening, guys.
Thank you.